Yo, what's up, y'all? Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Black Rabbit Collective, Jackson County Live, County Commissioners Meeting Watch Party. What a week it has been. I kind of got back from vacation and had to get everything in order. We haven't had another episode since the last County Commissioners Watch Party. Tonight, I am anticipating more fireworks. Do you expect anything else from this group of individuals? I will quickly pop up the agenda. There are some items on. Whoa, they're on, baby. Public hearing. I didn't realize. So this is the, I'm going to pop it up for you. This is the public hearing for the Greenway project in relation to Hurricane Helene relief funds. And so part of that is a Greenway expansion. So they're doing this. I had forgot that this was happening at 6:20, but here we go.
And we expect them to request a little over $1 million for help with the construction of the new portion of the Greenway and some related items to the damage that was caused from Hurricane Helene. The reason why we qualify for this grant is because we are in a Helene-affected county and disaster county. And in order to apply for these types of grants, we need to hold 2 public hearings, one to announce our intent, which is the purpose of tonight's hearing. And then in September 1st, we'll talk about the grant specifics with the board and then have the board review that grant application proposal. So tonight is just to hear public comments from the public about that. We do have some things to
know. First up this evening for the Greenway expansion, or for this CBDG grant, is Jennifer Hinton. Jennifer.
Thank you for having us tonight. One of the things that I love about living in Jackson County is the abundance of outdoor spaces, both land and water, to reimburse myself.
Let me know how it sounds. Let me know if you can hear it clearly. I got some announcements to make and want to quickly touch on the agenda. A couple of things that important pieces of information that I want to share with you before we get too into it.
As a nature immersion, to meet up with friends, to walk my dog, and as a connector to cycling to WCU's campus. For me, it is one of the places that I access, but for others, it is their main place of access. The fact that the Greenway is paved, has abundant shade, and has seating makes all the difference in the lives of many of our county's older adults, individuals with sensory and mobility impairments and adaptive equipment, and families with young children, especially those with strollers. And for some, it's one of the only safe and accessible spaces in our county to get immersed outdoors in nature. While I make it clear that I am not a spokesperson for Western Carolina University or speaking on their behalf on this topic, my status as a faculty member in the recreational therapy program there, with decades of teaching and completing scholarship on the benefits of nature and adventure-based therapy, does overlap here. And part of my job is to deeply understand benefits of engaging with the natural world and to teach the aspiring recreational therapists to understand that and to apply it. And the research clearly shows ways to engage in outdoors that boost our physical health, our psychological well-being, and our ability to cope with stress. And the designation of the Jackson County Greenway is the first and currently the only accessible certified nature and forest therapy trail in the country underlines the importance of this space for all of our county's residents and guests, and especially those who are most vulnerable. The question I get most as a board member for Friends of the Jackson County Greenways is, when is it getting longer? We're so excited that this goal is in reach and that we'll be able to expand the Greenway and provide more opportunities for everyone. The Greenway gets heavy usage. There are days out there that it's hard to park. We have so many folks that are out there. And I just want to thank you for all that you continue to do to support the Greenway and its expansion. It is giving back to our community every day and the wellness of our residents, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next this evening, we have, excuse me, Alexander Harris.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the chance to share,
Michael Jennings heard that I had a new graphic for him. He didn't show up tonight, huh?
to give everyone a little background about myself. I serve as one of the development officers at Western Carolina University, and I'm on the board for the Friends of Jackson County Greenways, but I'm not here as a spokesperson for Western Carolina University. My views are my own. So as a resident of Jackson County, I often walk on the Greenway with my dogs as a way to relax, see friends, talk to neighbors, even have meetings. When I walk on the Greenway, I see people of all ages. I see kids, learning to ride their bikes. I see the elderly walking with their walkers at their own pace, and really everything in between. Thanks to Michael's staff and his team, their counters, we have a pretty good estimate that there's going to be around 160,000 users of the Greenway this year. Now, other than it being a public good for community and health, there are significant economic benefits. There's been a few studies done that estimate $3 to $4 generated through the Greenway for every dollar spent on the Greenway, through tourism and economic activity. We've done extensive surveys of Greenway users, most of which are repeat users monthly, if not weekly. And for anyone who is interested in having it, we have on the record that it is the best investment the county has ever made. That's on video.
He ain't
An
lying.
expanded Greenway not only makes sense in terms of the people, supporting the people that make Jackson County home, it's an asset that will that bears very little cost implication for residents, and a huge opportunity in terms of travel, in terms of community events, in terms of engagement. And it's a space to offer amenities for the community as a whole. So thank you for all you do to support the Greenway. And if I see you out there, please say hello.
Thank you, Alexander. With no further persons signed up, is there a motion to close public hearing for the Greenway? All right, second? All in favor?
All right, that's a wrap. They got done 3 minutes early.
Our second public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing is to receive public comment on the consideration of the proposed ordinance imposing a moratorium on data development of data centers. Mr. Poston, again.
Remember,
Good evening again.
most of our neighboring counties have already addressed data centers in the last year or so. I know many of y'all were writing to your commissioners for the last year, asking them, what are we going to do about it? We've talked on this podcast about the Unified Development Ordinance that's already in place for crypto mining and the parallels and that sort of thing. I just have to bring it to your attention that I find it strange that they're now finally wanting to talk about this 90 days before the election.
Motions that we would create if we choose to create regulations.
They've been putting this off and focusing on social issues, focusing on, culture war stuff. And people have been asking about this. I've seen a lot of talks about this. And now here we are inching towards the election with a Republican, not even majority, but Republican across the board commissioners. And now they're willing to talk about it just before. So let's go. Let's see what my boy Chris Hamlet has to say.
Hello, I'm Chris Hamlet from Silva. And as far as what you may want to consider when you're thinking about any sort of moratorium on data centers is, and this goes back to a lot of the public coverage on them right now, is a distinction between AI data centers and non-AI data centers. As a reference, a average house in our end of the state uses 10 to 12,000 kilowatt hours annually. A grocery store or an old Walmart, like what we have in town, uses 2 to 2.6 million kilowatt hours. A small non-AI data center, which, given the amounts and how hard it is to find flat land for anything bigger than a small data center is not going to happen, is anywhere from 4.4 to 17.5 million kilowatt hours annually. A small AI data center is anywhere from 8.7 to 43.8 million kilowatt hours annually. A big reason for that difference between a non-AI data center and AI data center is a non-AI data center, we have them all the time. Any company that serves a lot of customers, like our utilities, Duke Power, Tuckasegee Water, or our media companies like Optimum or DirecTV, they all have data centers for accessing their customer records quickly when people have to call in with concerns. An AI data center, and as for an non-AI data center like that, it's basically access the hard drive, get the data back. There you go. AI data center, you're taking all of that and you're running the processors in that data center at 100% almost continuously. As an analogy, a non-AI center might be running all the electricities, all the lights in your house, all the time, 24/7, with AC to keep up with that. An AI data center would be doing that same thing, oven door open, oven blasting, space heaters throughout the house, and the AC trying to keep up with all of that. That's how much more heat is generated by an AI data center that it then has to compensate for electricity usage and cooling, and just the electricity used by the computers themselves. As a result, we should be hearing from Duke Power or Tuckasegee Water on what their current excess generating capacity is right now to service such a high demand. And for an industrial demand, because an AI data center isn't going to just be a typical electricity line coming into your house, maybe covered in kudzu. It's going to be one of these big metal frame and lines with multiple lines coming off of it that has these giant clearways, which you see going up and down the mountains. And obviously for Tuckasegee Water, we've seen how low the Tuckasegee gets. If you've driven along the River Road, where the water facility is, it provides water for a good Silva and Hillsborough and a good part of this local area, we've seen how low that water gets sometimes. Think how much more that would have to get used by a data center that has to cool a lot of computer equipment that's running extremely hot. Thank you.
With no further,
I'm still struggling to make the connection how Jenny Lynn Hooper, Michael Jennings, the whole gang can be pro flat cameras, but anti data centers and all behind this. I don't
we'll
understand.
order our regularly scheduled meeting.
An
First
AI
up this
data
evening
center.
is Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's go, baby. Crank it up.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen, Playboy.
Welcome, everyone.
Come on,
first
Bryson.
up this evening, we have the approval of the agenda. Everyone's had a chance to look over it. If they would, please, if there's a motion on the table for approval.
So moved.
And a second. Second. All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Moving on now to our work session, or our minutes. We've got our work session minutes and our regularly scheduled minutes from August 4th. If everybody's had a chance to look over those, and there's a motion, I'd like to hear it.
So moved.
And second. All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Moving on now to administrative reports.
She did do that.
This week I have nothing to report. It's been kind of a slow couple weeks. So, does any other commissioners have anything to report this week?
Lucky for you.
Yeah, I attended the NRA down at our new, I won't say fairgrounds, what Charles Elders
She don't
Event
know what to
Center.
call it.
And they served, it was really phenomenal. It went on a long time, a lot of good people there to mingle with. And they actually served, which is remarkable. They had prime rib, au jus that was
Remarkable.
delicious, baked potato, and a salad. And they served over 800 people in 44 minutes. That is unbelievable.
The fuck?
But it
It's
was
a
a
catering
good
company.
time and great food, and it was for a good cause.
She couldn't remember what it was called.
Ordered as well. When the auction started, I figured out that most of those people have deeper pockets than me.
Didn't take long to hit that on you.
Oh, I have one more thing too. I went to the Savannah Fire Department meeting yesterday, and they are getting their new engine pumper. It'll be about a year and a half for them to actually make it and have it back to us, and it'll be their first four-wheel drive. And I posted it on my Facebook, but it's replacing, was it an 82 or 83?
83, I think.
83 model. So the county matched 250 with 250 that Kevin got from the state, Kevin Corbin. So congratulations to Savannah Fire Department. That goes to a worthy.
Pounding their chest on spending money, and then they're going to try to spend it on you with this school bond referendum. Pounding their chest about spending money. We're going to get into that with this jail expansion deal too. You hear, she's proud to spend that $200-something thousand on those trucks, which I am not going to argue. A 1983 truck definitely needs to be replaced.
Actually, all the projects, so it'll be a little bit longer list.
Let's go.
Whittier Heritage Grounds, of course, it was a really good event at NRA. Also, they had Thomas that again just through the Great Smoky Mountain Railroad had a good event for those 8 days. No really issues with the facility as far as the utilization, and I'm kind of looking forward to this fall to see how many more events we can get down there. Speaking about that, we are still working on the water situation. The water is, the potable water is there, but working through with Cherokee on putting in the main line for the sprinkler system. So during all of those events, we had a fire watch scenario, which we had multiple folks looking out with that process. But we want to get that going quickly. So within the next 20 days, 25 days, we're supposed to be finishing up and doing the test on the sprinkler system and activating that system with the new water coming from the Cherokee utility. Also with that, and we're kind of gearing up for the first of the year. So we'll be sending out RFPs for the demolition of the remainder of the building, which will be happening in January of 27. And then we're also sending out RFPs for the new facility that's going next to that, which will be going online hopefully in spring of 2027. So we are working through all of those different pieces to kind of get that laid out. But I did want to let you know that it's all on there. It is on our project dashboard online, so anybody can look at it and kind of see where we are in the time frame.
And I'll let you know it's safe to interact in the live chat. I've decided against sending in all the comments as a one big massive public comment to encourage discourse in the live chat. Live chat is a safe place to share your thoughts.
The Whittier Fall Park weren't active today, so we had been working through a lot of different punch list items with the contractor, and I think all of those have been settled, and so should be open to the public.
That's good. I have one question on that. Have you thought about moving that gate lower down to the road so people go up there and don't tear the pavement up trying to turn around?
It's going to be relocated. We'll be going down along Houses and
Yeah, okay. I just, cause it's brand new pavement and I went up there to check it out and didn't know it was still closed. And the pavements get where they're power steering. All right.
The second park, the Cassia Community Park, we did go out for bid for that. We did not get enough qualified bidders, so the bid documents are being redrafted and will be sent back out probably in the next 30 days.
Constantly bidding on
So
projects.
when
We
we
got
get those,
all
we'll
these
bring
construction
them back
projects
to your
happening right now.
consideration. Webster Village. So we did get the CDB NR, which we've been talking about, grant 2.5 million plus the $500,000 from Golden Leaf, and then the addition of the 750,000 that the county has put in.
Listen to the amount of construction projects happening at one time and how much we have invested in all of them when they try to tug at your heartstrings and discuss this upcoming school bond referendum.
What we're looking at
Where is the
just kind of looking at
accountability?
the best options, because it involves acquiring this property for a water tank, and then looking at all of the the attributes of trying to get it back to the facility. So we are trying to do a multifaceted approach. We've identified 2 properties. Also, we're looking at a third option where it would better benefit not only the Webster area but also the Cullowhee area with an increased capacity, and may not cost. It may cost the same when looking at it. So anyway, it's taking just a little bit more time to put together, but I think that this process through the study will be the beneficial to the most people. So there will be a groundbreaking in October for the Gibbons section of Webster Village, because they do currently have enough water pressure for their segment of it. So there is going to be a groundbreaking ceremony, and I think y'all will be invited to that. So
When will that be?
I think it'll be on site.
When? I said when?
Yep. What?
When?
It'll be in October.
October.
I don't know the specific date.
How long is that going to take? Are they giving an estimate?
I think they said 18 months. Usually it's either 18 or 24, but I'm pretty sure they said 18 on that one. So. Any other questions about that? Okay.
Is Vannoy
The
Construction
administration
doing all
building,
these
We did
projects?
have a topping up ceremony back on the 6th of August, and so that was a really good event. Vannoy did a great job, and they are doing a great job. It's coming up rather quickly. So it'll probably slow down a little bit once they get undercover, but I'm grateful for all of the men and women that have worked on that project. They've really done a great job so far.
Public comment is next. Public comment is coming up after the county manager's report.
Detention facility, which is on your agenda tonight, so I may not save. I may save that for later on in the agenda. A new project. So the Cashier's transfer station, we did get the money from the state on that one, and we have gotten back the RFQs for the engineering firm. The only engineering firm we did receive was McGill and Associates, who did the initial PER when we did the project. And so, with that said, with it being a professional service, we can go ahead and let them start the design process. So that will be coming up, and that's of course laying out a new transfer station. We're working with the Forest Service to expand the footprint of that area, of the permit area, and so it's gonna be a little bit of a tedious type of negotiation, I guess, or through the process, but it's going to take a little bit more time, but it is on a good foot at this point. We've gotten letters of support both from the Forest Service and all of our state partners for DENR and things like that. So I think everything is progressing. Right now, we still don't have a budget for that. So we have the initial budget. When we get a little bit more into the programming piece, we'll kind of bring you more up to speed on where we are at. The new Another new project is the aquatic facility at Cashers Recreation Center. So y'all could allocate funding in this year's budget for an initial design. We have gotten a designer. They have got
They are very comfortable spending your money. And when the big one comes in November, they're putting it on the ballot so that they can say they aren't the ones that raise taxes.
that went through the process of doing some geotech. So we are starting that process. That process has started. So I just want to let you know kind of where we are with it. So we'll be bringing back some plans. It's probably going to take 4 to 6 months to get those plans, kind of good. But then we'll be bringing it back for your consideration. The Canada Community Development has also allocated some funding for some renovation. We're going to be utilizing county staff to work on that project. So that will probably be starting this fall. So if you get anybody from the community asking questions, that we did have some money set aside, not much, but we are going to be utilizing some of our county staff to do some.
He likes doing that too, and I don't necessarily know how much I trust him in that regard, but he loves using, to avoid bidding, he loves using county employees to do a lot of this work, like the concrete at the Whittier Fairgrounds.
Renovation of that facility. And then kind of with that is the Canada Fire Department. We are still in process of finding property. So that still is on the books, but we are just still trying to identify a piece of property that will make it a good fit. So, and I think that's it for right now. Any questions?
How many projects total is that?
11.
Do you have a dollar amount?
It's on the website.
11 construction
Everybody be
projects,
aware, We're
dude.
doing a lot right now.
Yeah.
And-
I have just a few questions.
Okay.
11
the,
construction
fairgrounds.
projects, and they want to say
Whittier Heritage-
that they're going to
Heritage Grounds.
give you the option if you want to raise your own
Someone
taxes.
brought
11
up to me
construction
that-
projects.
The event was great. Everything was great. But when they went outside, it's pitch black. Can we get some lights to go up outside so people can see to get back to their vehicles?
Yeah, we really didn't address it. I guess early on, we did have a plan, but we did not engage any, civil engineering group to do, because we were going to do we're not going to put pavement on that because there's just not enough area for at least for stormwater. But the lighting piece we'll take consideration.
Lights is what I'm never concerned about. Just, there's lights on the outside of the building, but when they got out, it's pitch black.
Yeah.
And
A lot of people walking through the field down to their
yeah,
truck, you'd think they were serving alcohol in there because they were stuff like everywhere, stepping in holes and stuff.
Okay.
Including me. So.
let's see here. The administrative building, how long is that going to take to complete?
Be July of 2027 is the anticipated time.
Well, I won't be there for that.
Oh, I did want to bring, I missed one. So a couple of them actually did. With the detention center, we also have the Justice Center renovation. And that one, we've been trying to wait. We kind of had to switch it up a little bit because we are looking at trying to decrease the cost of it, because between the two facilities, the detention center and the Justice Center, all had allocated $15 million. And so the detention center ran a little bit over, but there's still money available for the renovation. So we're trying to scale it back. We're hopefully not having to do the sprinkler system, which would save a lot of money, and also looking at reutilizing some of the downstairs as well. So we're still working on it, and we still think we can make it happen, but it's taking a little bit more time.
He's not to be
GMP on
trusted.
the-
He is not to be trusted.
We're
Woo!
looking for that. So,
So with the middle school, we're not going to have a GMP by the time y'all need.
And this is the guy, this dude right here with 11 construction projects, and the Justice Center part that he didn't even mention in that. So it's really 12 construction projects happening at one time. That's the guy right there, Mr. Kevin King. He's in charge of the library. He's running the whole library while juggling all of these construction projects, spending your money and telling you he's doing it for you.
To vote. I'm putting it on
I know,
ballot.
but I
Yeah.
thought they were within a couple of weeks last we talked. And
Well, the design team, which is Pinnacle, was supposed to have a design ready by the 27th of August. But in the meantime, they've
And they're Pinnacle again, right?
switched it to a different location. And so with on the pad to try to minimize some of the retaining walls, which was driving cost, which they have eliminated all the retaining walls. So that was a positive. Yeah, but the actual
How much is that
design,
gonna save?
they want,
How much is that gonna save?
don't know, but I know it saves some, but we don't know yet. But you got to get better. You can't just have a piece of paper and say, yeah, give me a price number. So you got to have a little bit more analysis of exactly what the design is to get a good number. So they're just not really good. I mean, we can give them estimates like they have, but not anything concrete. So,
Well, their estimates is the reason we're in the shape we're in.
And so that's why tonight, when they go to talk about the jail expansion project and they tell you that it's $9 million, there's the resolution real quick. And if you look at the detention center approval, it is, what are they calling it? Guaranteed maximum price. The guaranteed maximum price from Vannoy Construction, who they're using on all these construction projects. They're using Pinnacle as the architects and Vannoy Construction to do the actual construction. If it says guaranteed maximum price, how can I believe that that's what the guaranteed maximum price is if they have done what they've done in the past?
misled originally.
All right, with no further reports, we have move on to our informal comments by the public.
Let's go. Who's there? Who's
Tonight we
there?
have Jennifer Lawler.
Jennifer Lawler.
Quick reminder that this is a time for us to listen, not respond to comments or questions, and the time limit is up on the screen.
I love that he has started doing this and started making that statement before every public comment session. He declares that this is for us to listen and not to talk. And that's something new that he recently started doing because Jenny was interjecting so much.
Each speaker gets 3 minutes.
Okay.
With that, Ms. Lawler.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I want to begin by saying that I support the proposed one-year moratorium on data centers. I believe a one-year pause is a reasonable approach to give our elected officials time to understand how data centers can affect our community before making decisions that could have long-term consequences. The issue I am most concerned about are the flock cameras installed throughout our community. My concern is the scope of surveillance these cameras create and the lack of consent and transparency surrounding the collection and sharing of this information. According to the recent article published by the Scylla Herald, 17 Jackson County officers have access to the data collected by these cameras. We are told that the information is only retained for 30 days. However, that information is also being shared with approximately 280 other agencies. What does a 30-day retention really mean when information collected about the people in our community can be accessed or shared across such a large network of agencies? I did not consent to have my movements recorded because I drive through town. I did not consent to have a record created of where my vehicle travels, when it travels, and potentially having that information made available beyond our own local law enforcement. We have a system already operating in our community that many residents did not know about, did not have an opportunity to discuss, and did not consent to. I want to be clear, I am not opposed to law enforcement or public safety. I support both. And I want to be equally clear about what I am asking the board to do. I am asking you to remove those flock cameras. Other communities and surrounding counties have listened to their residents and are removing these systems because of community concern and pushback. I believe our community deserves the same consideration. We should not have to accept increased surveillance simply because the technology exists. The proposed data center moratorium shows that this board understands the importance of taking a step back, gathering information,
Thank
and
you.
considering the long-term impact
Thank
on our
you.
community before moving forward. I am asking you to apply that same consideration to the flock cameras. Protecting our community should not require sacrificing the privacy of the people who live here. Please support the one-year data moratorium, and please listen to your residents who are asking you to remove the flock cameras. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that
No one
point
else signed
up.
up for public comment. We'll move on to our consent agenda portion.
It's the
And
only
first up
public
this
comment.
evening with the finance report is Ms. Fox.
Darlene, let's go, baby. Chris Hamlet talked about the difference between data centers and AI data centers. Flock processes all of
Before
their
the
data in
highlights for the
AI
month
data
of
centers.
July.
So
The general fund revenues collected is $6,001,929. That's 5.52% of budget. The average for the year is 8.33%, so it's under 2.81% this time. The
that's coming.
expenditures, on the other hand, are
That's coming, midnight.
$10,429,630. That's 10.32% of budget. So they're over the 8.33% by 1.99%. Currently, the revenues are $4,427,701 less than expenditures. The ad valorem taxes and NCVTS taxes collected. The ad valorem tax, $1,375,161, 2.9% of the budget. The public safety ad valorem tax, $346,152, which is 2.77% of budget. The NCVTS motor vehicle tax, $183,368, that's 9.13% of budget. And the prior year ad valorem tax, $77,045, that's 25.68%. Currently, at the end of July, we had accounts receivable recorded for FY26 in the amount of $4,580,987. And we'll continue to get those revenues in until the middle of September. We received the sales and use tax distribution in the amount of $1,997,086. That's for April sales. That amount is 5.57% more than we received in July of 2025. The Article 46 distribution was $220,569. And the average increase for the fiscal year at the end of April, 7.29%. The landfill disposal fees, $70,696. That's 2.29% of budget. And the prior year disposal fees, $7,327. That's 9.77% of budget. The growth revenues for FY27, the code enforcement in July's over collection amount estimated by 5.88%, and the register of deeds is over by 7.17%.
They're getting that money this year. They know they need it
The
bad.
general fund contingency balance at the end of July, $2,152,323. I'd be glad to answer any questions on the report.
Questions for Ms. Fox?
Come on, Jenny. I know you got
No,
some,
we'll move
sister.
on
I
to
know
our
you got questions,
Budget
baby.
ordinance amendment and project ordinance amendment.
The first amendment is for appropriation from fund balance for the amount remaining at the end of FY26 for SCC capital. That amount's $576,559. They do have a project ordinance amendment. That's for the detention facility project fund. It's increase in construction cost
$9.9
of
million.
$1,795,607. decrease in contingency. We're moving from proceeds of loan, decreasing that amount by $8,500,000
Taking an $8.5 million loan.
from capital reserve, or $9,596,607.
Great. Any questions about either?
And
budget
that's on the
ordinance?
agenda for later tonight. So we're going to get into the detention center a little bit because Sheriff Doug Farmer's been in front of this
Moving on now, we go
commission
to tax collector
many
and
times this
refund
year.
reports, and Ms. Brooks.
Good evening. So for the month of July, the current taxes collected was $1,763,503. The delinquent taxes collected were $109,717. The total collected for the month was $1,947,216.13. There were refunds of $2,247.47 and releases of $7,240.24. Any questions?
Questions for Ms. Brooks?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Is
They're
there a
breezing
motion
through
to
this
approve the
tonight.
Consent agenda as presented,
They are breezing through this tonight.
and a second.
So
Second.
this
All in
Pine
favor?
Creek,
Aye. None
this
opposed.
Pine Creek
Moving on
property,
now to new business
is coming
and
up
offer
next.
Purchase for Pine Creek Community Building.
they're trying to sell the Pine Creek Community Building, which is up Pine Creek and Salt Rock Road up by Lake Glenville. It's really interesting. I'm curious about this.
And Mr. King.
I'm curious what this is all about because they're getting ready to sell a piece of property with an assessed tax value of like $106,000, and they're getting ready to accept a bid for $30,000 to sell it to a neighbor of that property.
So in your
Chris Bogardus is over here just mean mugging Jenny this whole time. Watch him.
packet
Love
is
that
a
guy.
offer to purchase the Pine Creek Community Building from Mr. James Murnowski for $30,000. A little bit of background on this. He had made a request, he sent a request in. We did a utilization report on the community center. It is kind of inactive. I think they had like 3 people a year rent it, so it is
Is this one in
really
the,
inactive.
by that cow pasture?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That used to be my grandmother's. She grew up there. That was their land.
Not anymore.
His big thing was I think he purchased the old school, Pine Creek School. So I think he actually lives in that and we refurbished it. So he wants to do the same thing with this building as well. So it'll be more of a historical significance.
All right. I got to pause this for just 1 second because I got to pull up the GIS on this particular piece of property. There it is right there. It's located. If you come down, I don't know if you're familiar with the area at all, but if you go up Colowee Mountain Road, like Speedwell, and take that all the way to Pine Creek and you hang a right and you stay to the right, you'll end up on Salt Rock Road, kind of like you're going down back into Franklin on the backside of that. So this is the piece of property right here. It is 170 Salt Rock Road. It's a half an acre with a building on it. It's like a community center. It's a place where they used to do like meetings and cookouts and things like that. Y'all know what a community centers are around here. The total building value is over $67,000, and the total land value is at $40,000 on the tax assessment. And they're about to sell it to this guy for $30,000. And I don't know. It just seems a little bit odd. It seems a little bit light in this little economic situation that we're in right now, considering everything. So Jenny was talking about the cow pasture. That's the cow pasture right there that I just clicked on in the blue. Again, this is the property that they're selling for $30,000. The gentleman that's buying it, he lives right here in that little parcel, 1.67 parcel. So it's not quite adjacent. Like the pasture is in between it. It sounds like it's probably, he's probably going to be using it as like an investment property. He's going to fix it up and rent it out. I don't know that they should be selling this piece of property for $30,000. That just seems a little bit on the light side. I'm going to have to start scouring the GIS for county-owned properties and just sending in lowball offers to them. They did share one piece of information on the agenda, and that was the email from this James Merzinski guy. to state that they are selling it. It was his offer of $30,000. Thank you for Friday's conversation. I would like to formally submit an offer to Jackson County to purchase the parcel located at 170 Salt Rock Road for $30,000. Seems a little bit crazy. It's like a half an acre, getting a half an acre in a building for $30,000. I can't do that. Can you do that? I don't know. Seems a little strange.
Anyway, I guess the question would be, one, would you want to entertain the offer, kind of knowing that the community has not been utilizing it?
Bro,
in
it's
many years.
$30,000. Your offer is
So, if it's at the pleasure of
$30,000.
the board. So,
Is there anything we could use it for?
it doesn't have a water or sewer, I don't believe. So,
More people are going to Glenville. It's just more central. This one's, I understand the reasoning for having it out there in the past. It's just kind of.
There's not much out there, but I grew up 2 miles from there
There's not
at the
much
top of
traffic
Cullowhee
flow,
Mountain
so,
Road, Double Springs Church.
More
area.
involvement with it.
Like
I
2
know a
miles
couple
from there.
people
All my
who may
neighbors had benefit
live near
dinners and
there,
spaghetti
but
dinners and things like that
more
there.
often than not, they're using
They're not around anymore, but
library or something closer to town.
How long's that building been there? You don't know.
I can't answer.
How much property is with it?
1960 something.
Much
I looked it up
property?
today on the GIS. It might still be there.
Let's see. I did have a map of it. Sorry. It is definitely less than an acre.
1967.
I think in your packets.
$30,000 though for half an acre in a building.
Wow.
I mean, they could give us that land. We could put our shelter there. We're trying to get a shelter. I'll bust them up.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'd like to speak with the people, I guess maybe the last people that have rented it before we just
Is
sell
it,
it.
yeah, is it an annual thing where they, same people go there?
No, it's just pretty much open ended. There's one, I guess she's the custodian of it, and basically she's the one that rents it out. But we checked on the utilization. Like I say, there's been 3 in 2025, and I think there's been 3 in 2026.
Water and sewer. I mean,
What I'm trying to wonder is if they have like an annual.
There's no annual event.
I don't remember.
No.
Concerned
Family
citizen.
Or something, have their get together there, or reunion, something.
Everything that I went to in that building as a child was like potluck dinner kind of
do
stuff.
they have water and sewer out there in that shed on the right? Not shed, that building on the right for equipment for farming?
No.
They don't.
That building's not too close to it,
There's a creek that runs
in between the properties.
40
Yeah.
feet past it that
Yeah.
all their cows go to.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like they're even.
He's talking about right over here.
Not been out to see it, so
I was there, but it was a long, long, long time ago.
He hasn't been out to see it, and he's considering selling it for $30K.
Tax value on it.
tax value.
Over 100. Great question, John Smith. Look at John Smith doing the due diligence.
It says it's got a value of $67,527, and the building and the land is at $40,380. But
So 107
that's not taking consideration the
state
shape of it. I mean, I don't.
Send the county your lowball offers now. Send them your lowball offers on any property they're taking. It seems like they are in a seller's market, huh?
Well,
Anybody?
if he improves it, then, you know, really,
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
it's back on tax roll.
Yeah.
Everyone's using it.
I'm not opposed to it. I just think that we need to maybe contact those 3 people and see, what they're using it for, and
Okay.
Get something out.
yeah, and let the rest of the people around there know.
The detention facility conversation is coming up next. $9.9 million to expand the detention center is next.
They may not get to use it, but it will be preserved possibly. Hopefully he'll use it,
little bit
go
more
in and
appealing.
fix it up and everything, but who knows?
But they do have electric.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get some more information on that before we make a decision.
There's water right there.
Moving
He
on
can
now
put a
to the
well in.
Detention facility, GMP. Mr. King.
Buckle
So,
up, y'all. Here we
in your
go.
packet,
Let's
we
watch
did
them.
go
Let's watch them spend your money wisely, baby. Let's go.
throughout the bidding process and got a GMP back of construction costs of $8,796,607.
And this is from Vannoy Construction, the same construction company that is contracted to build the middle school. It's the same construction company. I'm just saying.
And the owner soft cost is $800,000 for a total of $9,596,607. So, and this is for your consideration for approval.
We already allocated that money.
So this is the budget amendment that you just did, was taking it from the capital reserve fund and putting it in the budget to pay for it. So there's no loans that will be.
Did we set aside a big chunk of, I'm talking about separate?
We removed the loan proceeds for one part of the money and substituted capital reserve.
How much over is what, 1.4? Is higher than the estimated.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we just kind of separate it in half on the actual allocation. So it is running a little bit higher. Not much higher. It's still within, definitely the parameters of what we discussed. But yeah.
So remind the public a little bit about it's going to be building on, correct?
Yeah. And we have Vannoy here. They can come up.
And the fact that we've been having to transport our inmates to other facilities and pay for all that, and it's quite expensive.
Correct. Yes, we have.
States, so.
Yeah, this is kind of a reactive thing that we needed to have done.
Right.
It's adding, I think 40 beds, 40.
Even with us moving out of here, or the administrative side moving out of
Yeah,
the,
they're building an administrative building over next to the Board of Elections in the DMV, where all of those administrative offices are going to move out and move over to that new building. I know you've seen that construction. I know you've seen that building going up. What are they going to do with all that empty space over at the Justice Center? They have to be able to utilize
this
that.
part of the building? The sheriff's office still going to need the extra.
And mind you, they voted on all this stuff a long time ago. Like they approved to allocate this money. They went through with all the loan and all that stuff like last year. So this isn't like new business for Todd Bryson and them. They should know.
Space.
Yes. Yeah.
Or asked all of these questions before they decided to move forward on
There's going to
this.
be a lot of room in here when
All of the sheriff's office will be utilizing all of this section and the downstairs. Downstairs will be more for detention. So, and the upstairs will be the sheriff's. Go ahead.
Any questions for?
$9 million for 40
a
beds.
little bit of a refresh.
They can't
for
even
public
keep the
is what
people
y'all
alive
do.
that they're housing right now.
Well, it's actually been a really good process.
We've had like 5 inmates die in the last 5 years in the detention center. They can't even keep the folks that we have up there alive.
Cope Architecture out of Knoxville was the design team, along with Vannoy, and we've had a
So
really good
many red
process,
flags.
that we've worked through, and kind of merging the two facilities together, the current facilities down there with the new. It's been a challenge, trying to get everything working together and looking at the 904 plan, which is like the smoke evac systems. It's been challenging to kind of work through that process. So some of this money is actually going to be for maintenance type of issues that we would have had to do anyway on the current facility. So like some of the roofing, some of the HVAC controls are going to have to be merged together. So a lot of this is kind of
Facts,
with
yeah,
facilities.
facts.
They remodel as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
So,
we do.
Who was the design team
Cope Architecture
out of Knoxville?
out of Knoxville. Yes.
Concerned citizen, do you know if the female detainees that get sent to Swain County, is that because of like a logistics thing or like a staffing situation in our jail? Are we incapable of overseeing such like a female population?
Did you ever resolve the generator issue? I can't remember.
Say that one more time.
Generator issue.
Yeah, so that was a part of that 904 piece. You have to get it, and it's I always call it Division of Facility Services, but it's I don't know what the new acronym. Anyway, the state detention
I need a cha-ching soundbite because they are so comfortable spending your money. They are so comfortable spending your money.
service folks, we have to work for them to get
And now that taxes are going up, they want you to take responsibility for it.
almost anything done with a detention center. You have to get approval from them through a permitting process. So it's been kind of tedious, kind of working through the different
These areas
options.
have been shuffled around for a couple of years now, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're on a good path. We do have in this process, the reason it costs a little bit more in the design piece is because of the 904 plan that was never put in when the facility was built. So this is be new for us.
How big's the new portion of the building, square footage?
About 4,200 square.
That did happen too. That happened too.
Footprint, and then it's got the 2 stories.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I was thinking,
That's what I'm gonna say.
that's a square foot per
They also spent like almost $1 million on that Inslee property that they said was going to be like refunded back because she was supposed to be like giving it to them, if I'm not mistaken. But they did spend $1 million on an additional piece of property for this jail expansion project. That's not in that $9.9 million proposal.
person.
It's good. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to refresh. It's been a long time since we've initially, I missed something, but
No, it's been a bit.
I mean,
it's been a while.
It's been
it's
kind
barely
of
smaller than the arena.
Spending money. You're comfortable spending our money.
So,
Are we utilizing property we've got back here already?
You bought property.
And
You
it's gonna
voted
be,
to buy the
there's
property.
going to be some, they've come up with a good plan on like the utilization for the back piece, getting construction folks in while trying to keep the inmates and prisoner population segmented. So right now there's been a good plan they've developed throughout this process too. So all of that had to be taken care of at the same time. So,
It's been wonderful working with the sheriff and his team and figuring that all out.
Yep.
Exciting to get
Farmer.
Good
Farmer
deal.
on the
We-
thumbnail tonight.
Marlene, do we know, or Kevin, do we know how much we've spent as far as taking inmates out of the county?
Probably a lot.
Okay. Is it you think
It's a lot of
big
money.
number? Yeah, going forward, I think. Sheriff, how many?
You see what they arrest people for? They arrest people for all these inmates. Their number one offense is typically like trespassing and minor drug charges and stuff. Can we not spend some of this money on rehabilitation services and services that can help these folks not need to end up in the detention center? How do we invest in our people instead of investing in detaining our people?
You have usually going out of the county?
Chris Weatherford was here from DSS 2 weeks ago, waving the red flag, saying, hey, guys, we are going to be in a big financial trouble when these state cuts come down, state level cuts come down, and we are now responsible for our Medicaid and our SNAP payments and things like that. And I have social workers and DSS workers that we cannot retain employees. And this is the result of that. We detain more folks. We arrest more folks. We lock up more folks. We need more space.
I've got 13 out of county right now, with 3 in DOC, so about 16.
16 out of county right now.
16 total out of county.
I would say you have to pay a change the last day or two because we've had some more that's been moved around. But it's not only the cost of housing them out of county, it's the cost of
Transporting them, housing and transporting them. Yeah.
What's the average daily cost across?
50.
Each $60 a day.
Per inmate to house them. $60 a day. I'm only repeating it so people that are listening can hear.
The month of June, we spent almost $22,000 for inmates in Transylvania County.
And the sheriff just said in the month of June, they spent almost $22,000 for inmates, housing and transportation out of the county.
That's just housing.
Housing alone. Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the GMP for the detention center?
Those are all my
Second?
friends. I'm
Second.
sorry. They're
All in
my
favor?
friends. They're my
Aye.
homies.
None opposed. Moving on now to the bond
Let's help
order
them.
authorizing the issuance of 105 million general
Let's go.
obligation school bonds.
Here come the sound bites.
Mr. King.
Jennings ain't here. The nail biting starting. She does not like this. Mr. King's getting a lot of airtime
You
tonight,
want
huh?
to read that? You want me to- Save your
I can
memo.
read it. Chairman Linson introduced the following bond order, copies of which have been made
They're gonna wrap
available to the
early.
Board of Commissioners. Bond order
They're breezing
authorizing
through
the
this.
issuance of $105 million general obligation school bonds of the County of Jackson, North Carolina. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of the County of Jackson, North Carolina has ascertained and hereby determines that it is necessary to pay the capital costs of constructing, improving, and renovating various school facilities for Jackson County Public Schools, including but not limited to Smoky Mountain Middle School, Smoky Mountain High School, Blue Ridge School, and the school bus garage, acquiring equipment and furnishings required therefore, acquiring land, right-of-way, and easements inland if necessary, and constructing public infrastructure improvements related thereto. And whereas an application has been filed with the Secretary of the Local Government Commission of North Carolina requesting Local Government Commission approval of the general obligation bonds hereinafter described as required by the Local Government Bond Act.
I really wish that they had some sort of structure to this loan where we, and some ideas as far as what happens if one project goes over, what happens if one project goes under, how to make sure that some of these schools, the money that's allocated to them actually makes it to them to complete the full project. It seems like they're just like packaging this up all together without really having a thoughtful plan as far as like looking at all the possibilities on what could happen. This is how we ended up here to begin with.
And the clerk of the Board of Commissioners has notified the Board of Commissioners that the application has been accepted for submission to the Local Government Commission. Now therefore be it ordered by the Board of Commissioners of the County of Jackson, North Carolina as follows. Section 1. In order to raise the money required for the purposes described above, in addition to any funds which may be
And concerned citizen, we're going to look at the recent Blue Ridge School inspection that took place at the end of the episode tonight. I got the inspection pulled up. We're going to take a look at everything that they found.
made available
You know
for
about
such
that.
purpose from any other source. General obligation school bonds of the county are hereby authorized and will be issued pursuant to the Local Government Finance Act of North Carolina. The maximum aggregate principal amount of such general obligation school bonds authorized by this order will be $105 million. Section 2 says taxes will be levied in the amount sufficient to pay the principal and interest of the general obligation school bonds. Section 3 states a sworn statement of the county's debt has been filed with
$35 million of interest on the school bond.
to public inspection. Section 4 states this bond will take effect when approved by the voters of the county at a referendum scheduled.
And I had
for
parents tell me this week that when they dropped their kids off at school, they did like a thorough inspection of Cullowhee Valley School to look for the mold, to see if the remediation was actually done properly. I had a father describe to me everything that he did in the classroom, lifting up rugs, looking under mats, and he said they did a pretty decent job.
November 3rd, 2026. The foregoing bond order was introduced by the Board of Commissioners of the County of Jackson, North Carolina, this day, 18th day of August 2026. I'll turn it over to you, Mr. King. Basically, this is stating that, just make sure there's nothing else in here. That we're putting a bond on the ballot for the balance of all the projects that have not already been allocated. So we've already allocated the money for the middle school. We've already allocated the money for the Blue Ridge School improvements. They're not 100% of the projects, just the cafeteria or just the gymnasium at Blue Ridge School, correct.
But this isn't 100% for the middle school either. We hadn't allocated.
We've allocated enough to build the school. There's a little bit of a variance in that, but this would finalize.
The school was supposed to be the whole done deal. Ball fields, all that
Told you it was coming.
originally.
Correct.
People need to understand that.
But the GMP has come in, or not the GMP, the estimates have gone up.
In a year.
And what will happen is, if this is not passed, or if the voters choose to not proceed with this $105 million bond, we will have a middle school, we will have a Blue Ridge gymnasium, but we won't have a bus garage. There will be no fields at the school.
They just told you right before this agenda item, they just told you that they have 11 construction projects happening at one time right now. And they're trying to pass this off on us when taxes are going to go up.
And
Because of all the projects, all the reckless spending.
cafeteria at Blue Ridge is
Straight
Now,
guilt
the middle
tripping.
school, was it
Straight guilt tripping, y'all.
at 60 or was it 70
I think
something?
it's 70, it's a little over.
There's 72 just for the school. If we included the fields, it was
108. It was, and I mean, we're still working the process on trying to get it cheaper, but you know, steel is expected to go up 6% a month. I mean, there's a lot of things,
Concrete has gone up.
so, the more time that's spent on it, it may or may not be able to decrease. That's what I'm saying.
And the taxpayers need to realize that your taxes will go up if you vote for this.
That's true.
If this goes.
What about the 11 projects that we have going on at one time? I do want to say before you guys just go out and decide to vote, we're going to look at this a little bit later, but I'm just going to make a really quick, I think it's in the top of the comments. I think I pinned it in the comment. Ron Mao has shared with me a property tax comparison tool. I'm not going to go too much into it. We'll talk about it a little bit at the end, but this is the link is in the comments. It's pinned at the top. You can click the property tax comparison tool, and it basically tells you what to do, how to go to the GIS, open up your old tax bills and look at your appraised values, and you could type them into these boxes right here, and it will tell you how much, and then you'll check which like fire districts you live in and that sort of thing, and it will tell you. So I'm just going to let's hit 300,000, 300,000, 300,000. And then we're going to hit, we're just going to leave all the other stuff blank for the fire and stuff. And it'll tell you what your taxes have been year over year. So 2024, 2025, 2025 RNTR estimated, and then the 2026 estimated, and then 2026 with the school bond included. Definitely a great tool to take a look at your own personal property before you go out and vote. They're telling you your taxes are going up, but they're also very comfortable spending all your money getting to this point.
Goes on the ballot and you vote for this, your taxes will go up. Almost $50 for every 100,000. And same if you want to say $150 for every 300,000.
I'll share the link again right now too.
It's about $40-some for every 100,000. So people need to understand that your taxes will go up again if you vote for this.
What about all the
We also
other spending?
Understand every time we put it off, it's just going to cost more in the future.
I don't think we need a middle school. We need to fix up what we got.
With what money?
But where is that money going to come from? Without a bond, we don't have money to fix any of that up, period. Where are you going to get the money?
And then it may surpass what we've already allocated in terms of bringing those schools up to where they need to be.
Well,
So
I mean, I sympathize with both sides. I
Oh,
know it's
sure.
gonna hurt people, but what we're looking at is the future. And without education, Jackson County has a very bleak future.
We'll still have education. They'll just be K through 8.
Where?
Our schools are busting at the seams. Where are you going to put them? We're gonna have to
We
build
don't have
some-
enough teachers the way it is. Who's going to teach them?
I'm gonna argue that fact.
Who's going to
No.
drive the buses? We don't have enough bus drivers. Who's going to clean the schools? We don't have enough custodians.
And as the schools deteriorate, less and less teachers want to work there. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. We either do it or we don't, and we sit back and watch them fail. So,
Or we have more
Or-
of what's
or we
happened for the
tax our
last
people
30
to death.
years.
They do
which
not.
is half-done projects.
They do not. They spend it
that
all,
have been
Lee
put off and
Metcalf.
put off and put off.
And something that needs to be very clear is if the people are taxed to death, like you're
There is no several $1 million reserve. I don't know who told you that. We've been through the budgets. We've been through the numbers. There is no several $1 million reserve.
talking.
These boys are running on fumes. They are running on fumes. They are paying interest on the money they're spending right now.
It'll be up to them. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll be the ones making that decision. There's a lot of
They're gonna keep saying that. It's up to us if we want the taxes to go up. It's up to us if we want to support education and support the future of Jackson County. It's up to us. Not taking responsibility for what got us here to this point, for all of the spending on the 11 construction projects, the crazy spending that's been happening for the last couple years, and justly so. Like, I totally understand when this group of commissioners came on board, they did say past commissioners have been kicking some major projects down the road, kicking the can down the road. They seem to have come in gangbusters over the last 2 years and really just move forward with all the construction projects.
false information
Never have I seen so many projects happening at one time.
going around right now.
It's in their hands. It's not in our hands.
A lot of false information stating that we're voting on it. We're spending the $105 million. But the fact of the matter is, they need to get a little bit educated and look into this stuff before they start posting things that's not accurate, because if they're a little bit educated, they would know whether they want to vote for it or against it.
Right.
So
And it's up to
What
the
does that
people.
mean?
I mean,
A little bit
is it
educated.
really up to 5 people sitting behind this desk? to
I
say,
agree,
"No, you
it's
don't
up
have
to
a
the
word"?
people, but the people,
The 5 people sitting behind that desk are responsible for getting us into this financial position.
they work and live their own life, if they don't sit up here, the majority of them. And when they go to the poll and
No.
they see something on there for the kids,
I'm
they're gonna
sorry.
think, oh, great, they're gonna vote for it and not realize how much their taxes are.
I wish that there was. I wish that there was, Lee. But there's not any extra money. They've spent it all. This group right here has spent all of our money.
Going to increase. And that's what I worry about.
Okay. The application has been submitted to local government commission and accepted to move forward to the commission. And what I worked up for you is what the impact will be on the taxes. The local government commission required you to do it on a 20-year deal with a safe harbor interest rate of 5.344%. So that's what the application has to be filed on. So that would bring the per $100,000 to $5,260. But over the 20-year period, you can see where the tax rate starts at 526, and at year 20, it decreases to 2.2 cents.
Yeah, most of us will be dead by then.
But
What is that?
I mean,
You're
even
a public servant, Jenny.
in
You're
year
a
3, you're
public
going to
servant.
4.89. So it decreases every year.
Yeah, yeah, that's the good side of it. But right now, y'all are gonna be paying out the nose. Now it's $52.60
Big love, y'all. Big
for
love.
every 100,000.
But that actual amount will depend on what we sell the bonds for. Right now, they're selling from 3.5 to 3.7%. So it could be a lot less than this. This is just the highest maximum amount.
Well, and something that we discussed was doing 2 separate
Ooh.
bonds. One, you raising a concern about the middle school, which is a valid concern for sure. We could have had 2 separate bonds. One, fix the schools that we had,
Mhm.
and then one to finish up the middle school. And looking back on it, that might have been what we should have done, but the consensus was that we put
Joint
it,
meeting was to do
put
it
it
all or
together.
do nothing.
But we also didn't know that the building of the middle school was gonna jump from 50,
We did have some
60
of those
million to
numbers.
110
We did have some of those
almost,
numbers at the
109,
joint
whatever it
meeting.
is.
And it is very frustrating. I mean,
Within a year, it jumped that high.
it's very,
On our next episode, we're going to go back to the middle school approval process, and we're going to look at what Pinnacle Architects and Vannoy said to these commissioners and kind of what that back and forth was like. We're going to kind of really dive in to, we're going to really analyze the process that got us to that point, to really kind of take a look to see if they actually did do the due diligence on this school project, or if they were just like move forward. My memory, all I can remember is Michael Jennings kind of griping about it a little bit, about Blue Ridge and Cashers and that sort of thing. I remember him bringing up some points, but I don't remember much pushback last year as this thing was moving forward. And I honestly don't remember a whole lot of questions from them towards Vannoy and towards Pinnacle Architects.
frustrating to be
We're going to do that on our next episode.
given the numbers, originally, and which it was just estimates. And then a year later, or whatever it was, less than a year, whenever we had our joint meeting, it was like 100, it was triple, it was way up, 130 something.
Do you double your prices on funeral in a year?
No. But, I don't know where they went wrong. I feel like we have been led on, and it really gets on my nerves that we have been, because now we're backed into a corner and we have to make a decision, as we see fit. And then that's,
Todd, in the last like 3 meetings, you've said over and over again to give it to the people, to let the people decide. You're really like wind talking me right now. You're talking out of the side of your mouth. You're playing cover your ass right now. This is a cover your ass moment.
if it does go on the ballot, then the voter will also have to make the decision as they see fit. And it's just one of those things.
I mean, if I could talk to every single voter and let them know, if we knew that every single voter would be aware before they got to the polls of what the repercussions were, then, and they still voted for it, then okay, I'm all for it. Because
You can. That's your job.
No.
Now,
Your job is
have
to
we approved
inform the
verbiage of what's
voters.
gonna be on the ballot, on the actual ballot.
That'll be the next,
The next.
the next resolution that's on your agenda right now.
Oh, we're
Well,
getting
vote
into
for
what
this,
the
your
way the
taxes go
wording
down
of the
20
ballot will
years.
be.
On that, does it show a clear increase on the next one? What it's
The
gonna look like?
disclosure will show the increase, and it'll be posted tomorrow on the website.
Chris is getting a kick out
I
of
mean-
it. He's leaning forward. Chris Bogardus is going to call
People-
in on his
people
way
do need to
home
know.
tonight.
But it's just like,
I talked to Chris Bogardus this afternoon. I think I convinced him to call in. Chris Bogardus sitting there in the Silva Reed's Taxpayers Bleed shirt, which was the very first shirt that the Black Rabbit Collective put out before we ever had a podcast. There's only like 3 that were printed. I have one, Steve Steinbrook has one, and Chris Bogardus has one. He said he's going to call in full Andy Kaufman fashion. I think he's going to call in after the show. The guy has been to every meeting in the last 2 years.
the swimming pool, and that's one thing that keeps sticking in my mind. People voted for it, and it was done, but who did they blame? The commissioners. They blamed the commissioners.
You said
Well,
all of
and
this
that's
last
fine.
week.
Yeah, that is the truth. I've
But-
heard it all over.
But you can't sit here and go, well, I'm not going to vote on this because I don't want to be blamed for it.
Well, that's called history. I'm just looking at how the
Right,
history
but
is.
you're worried about something
Well, because they won't
without
know.
thinking of, well, and that's
Well,
fine.
And
but
that's where it goes back to,
you can't-
the false information that's going around on Facebook and everywhere else, is that we're actually voting on the money. If somebody would get on,
Who is saying that they're voting on the money? We've been screaming from the rooftops that you spent all of our money that got us here to this place, that we have to vote for it on the ballot, that we can't afford it, that the due diligence most likely probably was not done. before y'all decided to move forward with this project. You heard $52 million bond from the state, and you wanted to take credit for being the board that built the middle school. We're going to roll the tapes back on our next
There
episode.
and actually put on there what we're actually voting for.
Y'all took the credit when the announcements came out that we were going to be building a middle school. Y'all were pounding your chest. Y'all were taking the credit. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about this board here.
And actually educate the people on how to vote, then it would make sense. But the stuff that I'm reading don't make a lick of sense to me because we're not voting.
What is he reading on Facebook? I have not seen. Drop the links in the comments or send them to me if you have seen anybody say that this board is going to be voting on this school bond referendum. That is total misinformation. Nobody is saying that.
Voting on the money. And just to be straight honest, I don't know how I'll vote as a voter in November. And just like for you, you'll be voting for it. We're all going to be voting for it.
You know, and ultimately, isn't it the voters' responsibility to educate themselves on what they're voting on? You know, if they're not willing to take that responsibility, then, I mean, how do you make them? You can't.
In politics,
But you have to offer them a choice.
In politics, there's been 1,000 times I wished I had a vote as a voter on some sort of object. And I thought this was a no-brainer. And I'm with you. It may very well fail because of the tax increase. Do I want a tax increase? Absolutely not. Because I know how much, I've already figured it up on how much I'm going to have to pay extra. But I think it's worth giving.
And if you haven't figured it up, like Todd Bryson has, click the link for the Jackson County property tax comparison tool that I've shared the link in the comments. It's on my Facebook page. That will give you a snapshot on how much your taxes will go up if this bond referendum passes. And it has comparison to past years.
The community the option to say yes or no. And then it won't be.
It's fucking Groundhog's Day, concerned citizen. We have literally heard this exact same conversation for like the 3 past meetings. Like they've literally had this exact same conversation.
It won't be our fault. It will be their fault. The ones that voted yes.
It's not a fault thing. The only person that's at fault is y'all not taking responsibility for spending all of our money.
Agree with you. The former commissioner.
She's totally trying to cover her ass. They're all trying to cover their ass because taxes are going up. I think taxes are going up whether this passes or not. What do y'all think?
They did get the blame for the pool. They sure did. But there again, the people voted for it. And
it's hard for me to go back and remember the pool, but I remember there was some like strange language in the way that the vote was, the ballot, that it was written on the ballot.
Do need to be educated. So whatever we have to do to get people educated, send out mailers, whatever we need to do. But I agree with you on that people do need to be educated on what they're voting on.
What she means by people need to be educated on what they're voting on is that they need to be influenced to vote in her favor. That's what she means.
Paper as well. I mean, well, they have to. I mean, if we pay for it.
This is what they'll get.
Trashing the Silver Herald
And it'll
again.
have the exact wordage. It won't be a news story that they publish. It'll be what we give them.
They can't just publish what they want when we give them a letter that they have to publish.
She's so mad. She's fuming right now.
But yeah, I agree. You know, the Blue Ridge School.
Then where does the money come from?
Why is her microphone off again?
The gyms and the
In
bus
the new school.
and buy the buses.
You're talking about the new school, the middle school?
Yeah. This goes on.
Well, the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders from the other schools will be moved to the middle school. But
We did all of
there again,
this.
I do
We've
agree with
covered
you, but
all of
yeah,
this
no.
over and over and over again.
That'll be something that you guys will have to come up with, not me.
Well,
I'll be gone.
assuming it passes.
Yeah, assuming it passes. But
You're gonna have to reduce your funeral bills and you can donate money.
if I had it, I would.
I'm pretty sure that microphone
Our
is
schools
off.
are outdated, very much so. one of the existing schools.
Watch
I think
her.
We can all agree on that.
Eventually, she'll lean forward, and with her right hand, she'll like press a little button that's kind of to the right of her computer monitor. She'll turn it on shortly.
That we need to get them, up.
She's doing it because she doesn't want the soundbite. She doesn't want us to clip it. That's why she's doing it. I'm just telling you, that's why she's doing it. She doesn't want us to clip it.
Shape.
I mean, if it was my choice, I would say the state would allow us to have a penny sales tax increase. That was based on usage, and you're getting captures from
I
tourism.
think that would
not
be
just
all right,
locals.
too.
It's
Yep.
a better way of earning money. Well, think about the nickel.
Yeah.
The penny is no longer. So all that money just either goes into wherever or is just.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Like 501, 115C 501, that governs sales tax for schools. I think it's geared towards teachers and
It's all connected.
It's
It's
toward
all
capital.
tied together.
the
When
501.
we talk about livable wage jobs and affordable housing, all
look it
of
up
this
again,
stuff
but
is
I was
tied
thinking
together.
500 or 501 was geared towards teacher salaries and for certain districts of less than 100,000 people.
I'll look at that. The sales tax we get is on base for capital.
Right. This is a special
Yeah.
school district tax.
Would y'all be opposed to a 5-cent sales tax increase instead of this bond referendum? Would y'all support something like that as an alternative option to get these schools taken care of and the students supported?
Basically.
Tapping into some of those tourist dollars and visitor dollars, WCU dollars.
And also, I want to address the fact that, I've seen so much stuff. People sent me, I don't even have social media, but people send me screenshots of stuff that this board has done this board has done that. County manager's done this, county manager's done that. The simple fact about it is, every piece of property that the county, when I say the county has purchased, has come before this board, and to my knowledge, it's been unanimous every time.
So then you are responsible for the predicament that we are faced with right now.
Every project that's been done has come to this board, and it's been pretty much unanimous. The only thing that wasn't unanimous was our budget. I feel like, this board, we've been on the same page on several things, and I don't know where the misinformation is coming from, but it's just unreal. It's not Mark Lesson, it's not Todd Bryson, it's this whole board. This whole board has voted on everything, all the projects, all the properties, everything that we have purchased.
Going up to the amount it went
See how that microphone kicked on?
up to. It wasn't unanimous. It was prior to that, but not after that.
Correct. I'm talking
You're so close to taking responsibility, Todd. You are so close to taking responsibility. Like, connect the dots, doggy. Connect the dots. I would like to let tourism help pay for some of these schools too. It seems like a reasonable idea.
about other properties.
I'm probably gonna vote for the school though, because we're working class. We represent the working class people. My people don't own houses, so we aren't
other
privileged
projects
enough
that
to
we've
own houses in
done
this county.
outside of this, and
Many of them have come in under budget.
yeah, I mean,
I've been house
and it's
shopping
good
for
things for the county.
since
We've been
2023.
behind for years.
I've been shopping for a
Creating
house for 3
revenue
years.
Streams that were never there before
So
to help offset the costs of. And this is, to me, my vote on this side, this is a win for every student in this county. And
For generations to come.
and just so the public
Look
is
at her roll
aware,
her eyes.
are you guys able to authorize a purchase of any property without our consent?
No.
Okay. Have you ever authorized a purchase without our consent?
No,
Yeah, so, or
You're so close to taking responsibility, Todd. You are right there, dude. You are so close. I'm a
other
long-term
board, the
renter
other boards
myself.
consent, and Darlene's case. So, you know, I really wish people would quit getting on Facebook and believing what they hear and get in here and sit down in one of those chairs and actually listen, instead of vote these three out, and I'm not even running for commissioner.
We got like 16
I'm
people
done.
in here watching right now, Todd.
Is there a motion on the bond order authorizing the issuance of 105 million general obligation school bonds?
I'm going to make it smaller for just a second.
And second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, one opposed.
We got 16 people watching live right now, and they have 5 people watching their stream live right now. Thank y'all
Order
for
for school
hanging
bonds
with
and
us,
setting
y'all.
public
Thank y'all
hearing
for hanging with
in
us.
Michigan.
There's 5 people watching their stream live. Appreciate y'all being here with me. This is so much fun.
Bond order authorizing the issuance of general obligation school bonds, setting public hearing thereof, and directing publication of
Very
notice of
true.
said public hearing. Whereas bond order entitled Bond Order Authorizing the Issuance of 105 million General Obligation School Bond of the County of Jackson, North Carolina, has been introduced at a meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the County of Jackson, North Carolina on the 18th day of August 2026. Whereas the Board of Commissioners desire to provide for the holding of public hearing thereon September 1st, 2026, on the submission of a statement of debt and a statement of disclosure in connection therewith as required by the Local Government Bond Act. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the County of Jackson, North Carolina, that the public hearing on said bond order shall be held on the first week of September 2026 on the Justice Administration Building, Room A201, 41 Grand South Cove Road, Silver, North Carolina, at or about 6:30 p.m. Be it further resolved that the clerk of the Board of Commissioners is hereby directed to cause a copy of said bond order to be published with a notice of such hearing in the form prescribed by law in a newspaper of general circulation in the county on or before the 26th day of August 2026. Be it further be resolved that before the public hearing, the finance director is hereby directed to file a sworn statement of debt with the Local Government Commission and the clerk of the Board of Commissioners in accordance with Section 159-55 of the North Carolina General Statutes. File with the clerk of the Board of Commissioners and Local Government Commission of North Carolina and post online a statement of disclosure in accordance with Section 159-55 1A of the General Statutes of North Carolina. Be it further resolved that the resolution shall become effective on the date of its adoption.
That, is there a motion for R26-13, bond order for school bonds and setting public hearing on September 1st?
What time?
6:30 p.m.
Okay.
Normally at 6:20.
It can be, we have others that day too, so 6:30 is good.
Okay, so that's the reason it says on or about.
That's what I was wondering.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hooper? No. Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Letson?
Yes. Moving on now to a special event, Youth Arts Festival Hayride Ordinance.
Youth Arts Festival Hayride Ordinance, and the data center's moratorium is right after that. So get ready.
So this is a ordinance varying the traffic for the hayride
I had to pee. I had to get up and pee. That tea ran through me.
Saturday, September 19th, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. From WBI Drive to Haywood Road and to Green Energy Park. And it's for just our annual hayride. So.
Is there a motion for the hayride?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Third.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hooper? Yes. Chairman Letson?
Yes. And then lastly, this evening, we have the Data Center Moratorium Ordinance 02026-02.
Watch them take credit for this while
Finish this
just
strong.
pushing flock cameras on us on the last meeting.
5 minutes.
Co-signing.
All right. Maximum minimum.
Co-signing flock cameras and then pounding their chest and taking credit for this data center moratorium like they're doing us a favor, y'all.
Session and calling for the public hearing on this a few weeks ago, but really this document sets out the legal standard for how we call for moratoriums. And part of what we do is to describe the moratorium. It's proposed to be a year moratorium. If approved tonight, starting tonight on the 18th and running till August 18th, 2027. Within that, we also have some benchmarks that we've identified of types of activities that will go on and the expectation of what we're gonna do over this year period as we explore and understand better the impacts of data centers and what the county's response might be to those. So it involves doing some hearings at the board level for general comments. We'll be bringing in some experts, at least one that has some background in data centers specifically, to speak to the boards, and then expect that to happen simultaneously to the planning board reviewing what other ordinances are out there in North Carolina, what other communities are doing, and at the beginning of the year starting to talk about the drafting.
How many emails do you think that they've received over the last year about addressing data centers? You know, Waynesville went through it like into 2025, early 2026. Like this topic has been very predominant across the country. And I know for a fact that people were contacting them about it. And here we are right before the election. They want to move forward now.
Uses for data centers as defined herein. So that's the basis of the moratorium. I'll be happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
I know there's a couple places in the county already that has a data center. Boston West is one. If they were to relocate to another.
So I think, why the moratorium is probably really appropriate in this day and age is once you get a data center into your jurisdiction, that's when we get into this issue that we've had before about creating nonconformities, and is it a down zoning, and do we have the ability to make changes to that? So right now we're not aware of, and Baltimore West is actually in Webster's zoning jurisdiction right now, not in the county's zoning jurisdiction. That's why I think we have some space to have an impact on this issue.
That's different than.
Yeah.
Actually, last time I knew they were still out in Dillsboro. We had a data center out there. So.
Okay, then we can check on them. Yeah.
Any additional questions for Mr. Poston? If not, I'll seek a motion for approval.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
It's a wrap,
Commissioner
baby.
Hooper,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yep.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Letson?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
There's no need for closed session and.
That's right, baby.
No comments from the press this evening.
Should we go down there and ask questions?
Quick reminder, we have
Comments from the press?
several public hearings on September 1st, work session on September 1st at 7, and then our regularly scheduled meeting on September 15th. With no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? We are adjourned.
That is a wrap, y'all. Thank you for hanging. That was fun. I did put out a call to Chris Bogartis. He may call in. Funniest cat in Jackson County. He has been at every one of those county commissioners meeting, including last week's emergency meeting because of the fumble regarding the middle school referendum that's coming up. What did I say that we were going to talk about after the show? I do want to share just a couple of quick upcoming events that I think you should know about. The first is actually this weekend. The Jackson County Democratic Party is hosting the 175th anniversary of the Jackson County Democratic Party, much like the 175th anniversary of the county that's happening. So they're having a party on Saturday at the Lewis Farm. You can go to this website that I'm dropping in the comments right now to register for the event if that's something that you are interested in. I believe the candidates will be there. They are going to be celebrating 175 years of Democrats in Jackson County with kids, activities, hot dogs, a cookout, live music, and the candidates. The election is in November 3rd, right around the corner. You want to talk to these people, get to know them. You do not have to be a Democrat to go to this event. You want to get to know the candidates, meet the candidates. You can hit that link to sign up, and the address will be sent directly to you. That is the first thing that's happening. I don't want to leave my friends out. So that's this coming Saturday. The Dems are having their meeting or having their 175th anniversary party. And then the following Saturday, the Jackson County GOP is having a meet and greet at Monteith Park in Dillsboro, Saturday, August 29th. From 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. They're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs, potluck, bring a dish, bring a dish. But each candidate is going to have a booth set up to allow face-to-face conversations. You can get to know David Rogers. You can ask John Smith about all of this spending. He is probably, out of all the Republican candidates, he does seem to be kind of like taking some responsibility because he feels the need for all of these projects. But get in there and ask him some questions. Ask him about the spending. Ask him about the referendum. You know, Jenny keeps going on and on about about the constituents not being informed on what they're voting on. I do not know where that's coming from. I do not know what planet she's living on. She doesn't feel like social media is a good way to educate voters on what they are voting for. She doesn't feel like print press, right? Printing in the Silva Herald, printing in the Smoky Mountain News. She's not happy with that. How does she want to inform candidates? Here's your chance. Go ask her. Go talk to her. She will be there, I'm sure. Let her know that you want to be informed. Please inform me on this bond referendum. And then lastly, one final announcement. What is going on? There we go. One final announcement is that the Jackson County Recovery Rally is happening on Sunday, August 30th, the day after the GOP event. And that's happening at Bridge Park. Let me see if I can make that bigger. It's happening at Bridge Park. There's going to be live music. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be tons of community resources. Every agency is going to be down there with tables set up. And then, of course, there'll be kids' activities. This is something that we've all been touched with. Addiction is something that we've been all been touched with. We want to come together to recognize those that are putting in the work to facilitate a healthy lifestyle. And we want to be able to remember those that we've lost. So come out. It's going to be a wonderful event. We partner with the health department. There's lovely sponsors at the bottom. There's some killer food trucks. Have you ever had food from the Collard Queen? I've not yet tried the Collard Queen. I have not yet tried the Collard Queen. So come on out Sunday, August 30th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Bridge Park. We can take a look at and hang. It's going to be a good time. Come hang with me. Come hang. Let's party. Let's do it. And what else is on my list of things to talk about? Oh, the inspection, the Blue Ridge inspection. So I was poking around on the Jackson County website, and it's pretty awesome. I was shown this recently. Let me see if I can find it. If you go to the Jackson County website and at the top of the page, you click departments, and then you'll click food services. There's a little link that you can see. And of course I lost it. Oh my goodness. I had it up. Where did I do with that? bear with me for 1 second. I lost my link for the inspection. So here we go. Jackson County website, environmental health, food services. Stop. Food services, inspection scores, right? And then that does open up a new window. So I'm gonna have to share that tab right there. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit bigger. And that just shows you all of the recent reports that have been, recent inspections that have been done in order by the inspection date. So if you look, like Creekside was inspected on the 18th, which was like legit today. El Patron inspected today. High Country Grill inspected today. But I was poking around, looking at schools. Holy shit. So when I was looking at it over the weekend, the Scotch Creek one wasn't necessarily there. So Scotch Creek Preschool is on there. But I would want to pull up, let's go up establishment type. And let's do, let me just scroll by page. We're looking for Blue Ridge School. So there's been a lot of talk about Blue Ridge School over the last 3 or 4 months. They, the school's falling apart. They're losing teachers due to low wages and significant cost of living on that side of the county. And I've received so many messages, so many comments. We posted the Reagan Bush public comment. It's on our page. Go back and look at it. It went viral. She was calling out for help, saying that she left Blue Ridge School after a few years of teaching there, like 5 years of teaching, because she could no longer afford to live in the area. And that video went viral, and mass dialogue ensued in the comments. And what I took away from reading all those comments is that Blue Ridge School is in trouble. It is in bad shape. So I was poking around on this website, and I happened to see a Blue Ridge School inspection with not the greatest score. And so I wanted to kind of look at some of the violations. As you're getting ready to vote on this bond referendum, a chunk of that money is set aside for Blue Ridge School. So if you see here right at the bottom, should I make it a little bigger? Right at the bottom right there, Blue Ridge School had an inspection on the 10th of August. And we could pull up the full inspection report right there. Oh, Lord, it makes me download the file. Let's just look at the violation. So, conducted inspection of Jackson County with the Jackson County Fire Marshal and Cashers Glenville Fire Department. Observed preacher pad in the gym weight room is in poor repair, needs to be repaired or replaced. Observed an area of carpet in the library that is separated and is missing connecting strips. It needs to be repaired. Observed the carpet in the early college SRO office is taped together on top of existing carpet with the top layer of tiles coming off the tape. Can create a trip hazard, needs to be repaired or replaced. And then if you can scroll down and actually see the violations, and then you could see if any of them are repeat violations, which the last dressing rooms and showers is marked as a repeat. There's actually 2 that are marked as a repeat. Lighting and ventilation and dressing rooms and showers, but they're not actually marked as repeats here, which somebody smarter than me would have to explain that. But the violations found. Hold on, we got Chris Bogardus. Let me see if Chris Bogardus is calling in. There he is. Oh my God, my phone is not connected. Yo. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Que pasa, amigo?
Hey, everything's okay. I went to the meeting.
Yeah.
John Smith wore his usual pair of shorts, and thankfully there's like a bench in front of the commissioners, so I didn't get to watch his knees. Chairman Letson was wearing kind of a Walter Mondale plaid shirt. Didn't do much for him. Bryson was wearing a rather dark colored shirt, and Jenny Lynn had a gray T-shirt on. Jenny Lynn was in rare form tonight.
Was she behaving
was
herself?
opposed-
We were tuned in.
Yeah, Jenny Lynn, spoke her mind.
A lot of what
I was rather proud of her. She did all right.
a lot of what I heard was like same old, like regurge. A lot of the same stuff that she said at the emergency meeting last week, and then the meeting, the regular meeting the week before, about just like walking away from the schools. I don't know, just kind of like a negative attitude.
Well, just be glad you weren't there to smell it. You know?
Okay.
I mean, I'm there for you. Now, the first part of the meeting was confusing because it dealt with issues that I'm not familiar with because I've never been to jail. But they were dealing with an expansion to the jail, which might be dangerous for us. They might want to put us in, but then they'd have to feed us or transport us to another facility and pay $58 a day to another facility that we'd have to get transferred to. And currently they have 13 inmates in other facilities that they're paying money about. And that doesn't include the cost of driving them over there. The $58 was just the cost of keeping them.
Why do you think we
Okay, they
need
got
so
done
many
with
beds?
that.
Why do we have
Talked
so many
about
people in
spending-
the jail?
I guess they did bad things and got caught, or they just got caught.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
I know how it goes. I'm very familiar.
Anyway, they talked about spending $1 million on something and $30,000. I forget if they was going to spend it or somebody was going to buy it, but it had something to do with a creek.
Well, a piece
like
of
Rice
land. Yeah, it was a
Creek or
piece of land they're trying to
And
sell.
then came the biggie. They're going to have a bond referendum for the middle school. And the bond referendum could have been $65,000 a few years back, but now the price tag has gone up to $105 million. And that's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
That's 1/10 of $1 billion, more or less. So they're going to throw it at the voters.
Can Jenny do that
And
math?
Jenny Lynn's take on it was that the voters don't even want to know about it.
I know. What's up with that? She keeps saying that voters are not educated on what they're voting on. What do you think she means by that?
That they don't have time to mess with this crap, and they expect the commissioners to make some decisions. And Jenny Lynn knows which decision she was going to make.
Yeah.
She would raise the taxes outright. So I actually like the way Jenny Lynn's approaching it. Mark Letson, the chair of everything, he got a little peaked. I mean, he's looking at everything. He's making pragmatic decisions. And I mean, I think it's turning his stomach a little bit. He may need to take some Rolaids or something. Maybe we could get Gary to cook him some Brunswick stew. That'd make him feel better.
Dude, there was a Salisbury steak on the menu tonight. I had a Salisbury steak.
Yeah, that might have helped him, or it might have put him into worse. You never know.
I do. All right, Chris. Thanks for calling, dude. I appreciate the update, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you
Thank
soon. I
Dad.
love you, bro.
I'll
You're the
report in
best.
in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Chris Bogardus, ladies and gentlemen. The Chris Bogardus. Love the man. Love the man. He always has hot takes. So he is there every week. I love watching him. I need to make myself smaller here. All right. Back to the Blue Ridge School. So during the inspection, they observed 2 water service sinks, the cafeteria, custodian closet, and the kitchen laundry area without backflow preventers. Need to have backflow preventers installed. Interesting that it's not a repeat offense. So like, where did the backflow preventers go if they were there on the previous inspection? They observed some of the hand washing sinks throughout the school have stains, discoloration in the basins by the drains, and they need to be cleaned. I'm sure that's just a staffing situation because we've talked over and over about the staffing going on over at Blue Ridge School. Observed some missing, dislodged, and water-damaged ceiling tiles throughout the school. They need to be repaired or replaced, and that is a repeat offense. I think there's been an ongoing issue with water damage out there. They observed throughout the school light ballast and light bulbs out. Observed the shower lights in the girls' locker room outside the cafeteria are not operational. They need to be repaired or replaced. Also, a repeat offense. Observe the new gym locker rooms have blue discoloration in the shower floors. Observe the wall tiles in the new boys' locker room have been removed, leaving exposed concrete. Observe storage in both of the new locker rooms. Observed an air vent in the old boys' locker room outside the cafeteria that is in poor repair and just has an opening into the ceiling ductwork. It needs to be repaired and cleaned. Also, a repeat violation. So this is just like the basic safety inspection that was taking place by the fire marshal and the fire department. Just like a week ago? What did I say, on the 10th or something like that? Yeah, on the 10th of August. So that's the condition that Blue Ridge School is in. Literally the week that school resumed for the fall semester, that is what the kids went back to. And so something definitely needs to be done. If there is somebody connected to, whether you're a parent, a staff member, if you are connected to Blue Ridge School, and you would be willing to grant me access during non-student times to kind of like do a little lay eyes on some of these issues, I want to come down there and film and document what is happening in Blue Ridge to really amplify the need for the repairs, because from what I understand, they're in dire need of this project, and they feel like this middle school, everybody that's on the south side of Jackson County feels like this middle school has taken priority over repairing Blue Ridge School. Now, I understand that we were approved for the grant. It was the first time we've been approved for a grant in some time. We were approved for the grant that was written specifically to build the middle school. So it's not like they can allocate the money over to the Blue Ridge School. They have to spend that money on the middle school. So that's why it took priority. But you got to understand how it is a valid concern that the middle school project is going to go over, and the money that's in this school bond referendum allocated to repair Blue Ridge School may get funneled up to the middle school, and they want to add some layers of protection to that. So I want to lay eyes on the condition of the middle school. I understand school just went back into session. So if anybody is interested in getting me in there, I could come up on a Wednesday. I can come up on a weekend. Anybody that has access to it and is willing to show them off, I would be interested in talking about that. And then also last week during the county commissioner's emergency meeting where they had that snafu during the voting on moving this bond referendum forward, they had to have an emergency meeting last week. It was brought up that during this process of deciding to build the middle school, it was brought up the idea of turning Fairview School into a middle school as a possible cheaper solution. And it was tabled for historical purposes, they said last week. And so I want to do some digging and see what that's all about, and see what kind of what were the options at the time when they decided to move forward, or even when they decided to write the grant. Because I don't see why they couldn't have written a grant to repair Blue Ridge School and see if they got, see if they were to get some approval to do that. Yeah, just like wild. Like Jenny wants everyone to be informed, and so we are going to do our best. You want to? Okay. Smoky Mountain Elementary School also has an inspection that's worth looking at. Let's take a look at that real quick. We got time for that. We got time for that. I got time. Let's get back to the Smoky Mountain inspection. So, "44 school buildings." So we're gonna go establishment type, 44 school buildings, search. All right. I'm just trying to show y'all when, the conditions of these schools. School just went back in session. These are where we're sending our kids every day. And these schools, when they say falling apart, they are legit falling apart. Where is the Smoky Mountain Elementary School at? There it is. Smoky Mountain Elementary School. They got a 97. They were on 88. No, 97 is too bad. Let's take a look at the violations, though. Recommended placing a cover over the sandbox in to prevent animals from using it. Okay, I know why. I know why I was instructed to take a look at the Smoky Mountain Elementary School. Apparently, pests, rodents, are using the sandbox as a litter box. Did I read that right? It is recommended placing a cover over the sandbox to prevent animals from using. Staff stated that they are thinking of filling it in, making a sitting area. The boys' shower area in the gym has been blocked off and made into a storage area. It appears some shower heads have been blocked off. Could not determine if all have been blocked off. If the shower heads have not been blocked off, recommend blocking off shower heads or turning on weekly to prevent stagnant water and bacteria growth. First time staff turns on shower heads, PPE should be worn. So let's take a look at, they didn't get an actual violation for the sandbox. Holy shit, there's animals. We actually have a litter box. Todd Bryson was worried about litter boxes being in school. Apparently, we actually have a litter box at Smoky Mountain Elementary School. Recommended placing a cover over the sandbox to prevent animals from using it. Holy shit. Thank you for suggesting that, concerned citizen. Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make that stuff up. It is very clear. It is very clear. I'm not arguing about taxes going up. I'm not arguing about investing in education or investing in our future. I am simply here to point out the strategy of these commissioners and what they are trying to do and the way that they are trying to essentially put this on you. By saying that we're going to let the voters vote on it while they have just spent recklessly for like the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of reckless spending leading to 11 major construction projects happening right now. I thought there was like 4 to 6 and like the Whittier grounds kind of just ended as they're getting ready to start a new one. I thought they were kind of like staggered more. But Kevin King said tonight that there are 11 major construction projects taking place right now. And Todd Bryson asked him how many construction projects are taking place in a prideful way, in a pound my chest, look what we have done for you type of way. Wow. Leading to taxes going up, this school bond referendum happening, and putting the power in your shoes. So we're going to be covering the school bond referendum as this vote gets closer. Be on the lookout. We're going to invite all 6 of the commissioner candidates. I hope we'll be back on this show. We're going to invite everybody. We're going to invite every candidate just like we did. As a matter of fact, I'll do it right now. Every candidate in Jackson County is invited to come on the Black Rabbit Collective to have a civil conversation with myself to discuss your plans for Jackson County if you were to win. Tell us why we should vote for you in this upcoming election. And that goes to all candidates on the ballot for Jackson County, whether it's the clerk of court or the state senate. If you are running for election in Jackson County, we want to have you on. We would love to talk to you. I don't care what your party affiliation is. I don't care what you've heard about us. It is not in any type of gotcha moment type of way. I want to have a civilized conversation. Dave Rogers, come talk to me. John Smith, come talk to me. Steve Sutton, come talk to me. I would love to talk to all the candidates before it's over. If maybe kick around possibly having a debate between a couple of the candidates, if we can get a couple candidates to agree to come on and have a civil debate here. It is 3 months until November. We are less than 90 days away from election day. It is time to get our shit together as a constituent, not as a official, but as a constituent. Jenny has been harping about informed constituents. Jenny has been harping about informed constituents. It is now time for us to do our due diligence to help get us out of this situation. The ball legit is in our court. It is up to us what happens moving forward. You know who to vote for. You have watched them wage this culture war for the last 2.5 to 4 years on residents of Jackson County, right? And while simultaneously spending your money recklessly, now it's time to vote, right? There are good candidates on that ballot that can salvage this thing. There are candidates on this ballot that I believe in, that I know can help get us out of this situation and that can care for the people of Jackson County in a better way. I mean, it's clear. It's very clear. So we're going to be ramping up the election coverage. I hope to do a show a week. We'll see what happens. I'm throwing invites out in the coming weeks. Don't forget about, I guess, the last, where's that last? The last thing that I do want to share is the Jackson County's 175th anniversary that is taking place the first week of September. I hope I'm in town. You can hop on the inaugural train ride. You can ride on the train from Monteith Park in Dillsboro to the new fairgrounds out in Whittier. Let me see if I can find the flyer real quick. I just want to promote that just a little bit. I had it up earlier and I lost it. All aboard for history. We'll just throw that one up. That's the first one I could find. September 12th. For $18, you can buy a ticket to ride the train from Dillsboro to Whittier to the fairgrounds to attend this event. 100% of the proceeds go to Hometown Heroes. Good organization around town. Tickets are round trip. It leaves at 4 p.m. in Dillsboro, and it brings the riders back at 8 p.m. They have a limited number of tickets. They can be purchased at the Chamber of Commerce. I got my hands on 4 tickets. We're going to go for a ride. I think it would be something fun to do. We're going to be documenting all of it for a future podcast. So I think that's it. We're at 2 hours and 11 minutes. I think that's a good run. The commissioners did all right tonight. You could tell that they're in a little bit of a hurry. They did get into a little bit of the school bond stuff, but it was like regurge. And yeah, I think it's time to have tough conversations. It is time to have tough conversations. There is no turning back. We can fix this. As a community, we can fix this. They have shown that they're not going to bat for us. They are not going to bat for us, but we can come together and fix this. So I think that's all I got. Nothing else from the live chat. So yes, that is all I have. I appreciate all of y'all staying here, hanging with us and tuning in. We will be back in 2 weeks, first week of September, to do this all again and hopefully have a live episode in the next week or so. regular podcasts. I know we haven't had many regular episodes. Doing a lot of research behind the scenes. There's 2 or 3 cases, real specific cases that I've been working with individuals on the community on, individuals from the community on, a couple like little stories that I'm working on. And I realized that I haven't been able to do like a real actual podcast episode that wasn't one of these live stream watch parties in quite some time. And that's going to change. So be on the lookout for that in the next like week or so. So thank you for tuning in. We are out.